You make your own blinker fluid?
Make your own blinker
from
fluid.
the house?
Absolutely.
Really? And it's higher quality?
It's much higher quality. It's more potent. It lasts a lot longer.
Like the flashing is the lights are brighter?
It's brighter.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so now let's have a conversation about this truck, but I don't want to forget to talk about the horn, because a lot of people write in about this horn, and I love the horn. So I wanted to tell you where I got that and what some of the details. Are on that, and then we'll talk.
Good morning. Here we are. All right. So today you have arrived at First Fruits on a Monday morning on May 20th. And at First Fruits, we read the Bible every day in the morning at 6:30 Mountain Time. And we seek God in His Word to hear what He has for us for the day. We're currently in the book of 1 Corinthians, the first letter to the church in Corinth, written by Paul. And we are starting chapter 4 today, verses 1 through 4. And with that, I will pray. God, thank you for teaching us this morning. Thank you for this word. We just come before you asking for your wisdom, your counsel for our lives. We love you, God. Amen. Okay, this is a short reading, so I think we'll go 3 times through. And the heading in my Bible, the ESV version, is the ministry of the apostles. So verse 1, this is how one should regard us as servants of Christ and stewards of the mysteries of God. Moreover, it is required of stewards that they be found faithful. But with me it is a very small thing that I should be judged by you or by any human court. In fact, I do not even judge myself, and I feel like we should go all the way through 5. For I am not aware of anything against myself, but I am not thereby acquitted. Oh my, it's getting deep. It is the Lord who judges me. Therefore do not pronounce judgment before the Lord comes, who will bring to light the things now hidden in darkness and will disclose the purposes of the heart. Then each one will receive his commendation from God. Oh, that went right over my head. Phew. It's too early on a Monday. Thank you, sir. All right, one more time. Okay. Okay. That last time helped me a little bit. First two times, I think I was just distracted. I'm not sure. All right. So what's standing out today in this reading for you? Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. when I read that, I was like, oh, he's not just talking about himself. He's talking about, I think, all of the saints, all of us, because we all have been given something to steward. What have you been given to steward? Or do you know? Mm-hmm. Congratulations. Did you go to Vegas? You could have doubled their money. Mm-hmm. You were a good steward. Hmm. I heard it said once recently. I went to a wedding, and it was being hosted at this family's house, but that it was just a really just huge, beautiful home. This really beautiful property, and the family, they were believers, and the I was like, wow, you know, you have a beautiful home. The guy who lived there, and he's like, oh, I don't own the place. I just take care of it. And he said it. Way he said it, he wasn't joking, but from the world's perspective, he did own the place. But he was recognizing that it didn't really belong to him. It belonged to God, and he was just taking care of it. Exactly. I was like, yeah, and it was because of that guy. I'm like, I'm going to use that because that is so true. You know, good reminder for me. It's easy to forget. What else? What else is standing out? That's really, isn't it interesting that Paul says that here? So mine says, for I am not aware of anything against myself, but I am not thereby acquitted. What does that mean? I am not thereby acquitted. I'm not aware of anything. Oh, but I'm not innocent. Is that what he? Okay. So when he says, "For I'm not aware of anything against myself," is he talking about he doesn't think that any of the like people in Corinth or other believers have anything against him? Like he hasn't. Is that what he's saying? Or anything that God has against him? I have a reference here to Acts 23:1 on this verse, and it says, "And looking intently at the council, Paul said, 'Brothers, I have lived my life before God in all good conscience up to this day.'" Huh. Oh, wow. So you're saying he's really embraced the forgiveness of God. That's good. So I guess he's saying, hey, I feel like I've done my part, for what God has given me up to this point. I'm really going for it. And I think he is. I mean, he went all over Asia and wrote all these letters and got beat and, almost killed and imprisoned. But he's like, but I'm still not innocent. He recognizes he still makes mistakes. He's not perfect. So what does that even mean when it rolls into verse 5? So he's like, okay, I've done my part in stewarding what God's given me. I've really tried my best, but I'm not perfect. I still make mistakes, right? That's what he says in verse 4. And then he goes on to say, "It is the Lord who judges me. Therefore, do not pronounce judgment before the Lord comes, who will bring to light the things now hidden in darkness and will disclose the purposes of the heart. Therefore, do not pronounce judgment before the time." Why is he saying that? Are people judging him? Mm-hmm. My wife says something sometimes that's a good reminder because I get wrapped up in other people's opinions about me. She says, "Other people's opinions about you are none of your business." I love that. Like, yep, you're right. Mm. I feel like that's an area where the Lord's slowly been working on me this past year. Just how I have a tendency to be real hard on myself and beat up myself. And recognizing that when I do that, in that moment, I'm rejecting God's forgiveness of me and his love towards me. And when I see it in others, there's something in me that rises up that's like, no, don't beat yourself up. Don't listen to the enemy, You're loved, you're accepted by God, you're a child of the King. Embrace that truth. That's the truth. You're not perfect, but that's okay, That's encouraging to me. Hmm. Hmm. Good question. That's interesting. Let's go look. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT about Paul and his speaking. Really? I never thought had known that. Okay. So 2 Corinthians 10:10. Where does he say this? This is I'm going to roll back to verse 9 because he has a big, or 8 because it looks like he's got a big run-on sentence. Oh, 9. Yeah, 9. We must not put Christ to the test, as some of them did and were destroyed by serpents, nor grumble, as some of them did and were destroyed by the destroyer. Oh, 2 Corinthians. I'm looking at first. Sorry. 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 10. Okay, I'm going to go back to 9. I do not want to appear to be frightening you with my letters, for they say his letters are weighty and strong, but his bodily presence is weak and his speech of no account. Huh, interesting. He had a weak bodily presence and has speech of no account. What's your version say, Dan? Do you have that up? How about you, Daniel? What does yours say? In the NIV, in the NIV. 2 Corinthians. Yeah. Huh, isn't that interesting? Yeah. Okay, well, interesting. So if we go back to your original question, Lauren, let me see. Oops. 1 Corinthians 4. Okay, but with me, it's a very small thing. Is it 2? Moreover, it is required. What verse were you referring to? Okay. Okay, but it is with me, but with me, it's a very small thing that I should be judged by you or by any human court. In fact, I do not even judge myself. Oh, that's actually really cool. So that's like a comparison thing. That's another thing I struggle with, is comparing myself to other people and their gifts, the gifts they have and the gifts I have. Oh, they have 5 talents, but I only have 1, sort of thinking. So I'm going to go bury mine. But so that's really cool. Like, he's with all these other, like, he's a leader, one of the leaders of this movement. And yet he's not very impressive physically, which I take that to mean he's kind of ugly. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. And he's not one of these like fancy guys. He gets up, he's really charismatic and he looks good and handsome. No, not so much. And he's not good at talking in front of people. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. I love that. Man, what a great listen. Mm. God knit him together in his mother's womb to be committed, all in, 150%, whatever he was doing. There's no stopping that guy. I'm going to refill my coffee. I'll be right back. What did I miss? Man, I'm being really blessed by this reading this morning. So many nuggets in here. Comparison, the opinions of others. Traps for me, for sure. Judging others. What do you guys think about verse 5? This whole thing about judgment. And then it says, don't pronounce judgment before the Lord comes. Who will bring to light the things now hidden in darkness and will disclose the purposes of the heart. Seems like we've read that before. Go ahead, Dan. Yeah, Jesus says that. Do not judge, lest ye be judged. Everyone's got skeletons. God's going to bring it all to light. There's a reference here to chapter 3, verse 13 of this same book. It says, each one's work will become manifest, for the day will disclose it, because it will be revealed by fire, and the fire will test what sort of work each has done. Huh. I guess that's just a reminder for me not to. Again, it's like being worried about what other people think of me and their opinions. I feel like it's like everyone's got weaknesses. God will bring everything to light, and we'll all be laid bare. Every single thing we've done and haven't done, and yeah, that's good. Letting people, giving them the space and the grace to operate in their gifts as well. Speaking of that, I've noticed that you've been judging me in that way, Dan. And I forgive you. Gosh, darn it. Oh my goodness. I feel like this is one of those things for, I'm just reminded, that notion of letting people operate in their gifts. And I think I just got a little heart check. Like, this is an opportunity for me to say, hey guys, if you ever want to facilitate on a morning of first fruits, I would love to hand over that mantle to you to facilitate whatever you'd like. So just let me know if you want to do that. I think that's always fun to let. Good reminder. I am going on a trip. So I will be, let's see. Yes. Wednesday I will be here. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday I will not. And then the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday after that, I should be present, but it could be a little touch and go because I'll be on a road trip. But I should be fine with Starlink. Elon Musk has me covered. Say cheese curds? Oh, yeah. I like that. I'll be eating plenty of cheese, which will save me on the road trips because then I won't have to go to the bathroom as much. Oh my goodness. Well, we got about 30 seconds left. Any final thoughts before we wrap up on this beautiful Monday morning? All right. Dan, could you pray us out this morning? Thank you, sir. Yes, God. Amen. Thank you so much, Dan.